for students, he is Miss San. So I believe that all of you should hand it in your first storyline to me today. And then I will going to discuss with you how you can modify your storyline to make a better story. So now I'm going to show you how you can use different materials to show different styles. So later on, you can find out those materials at your home so that you can use it in drawing different styles in your storybook. So let's have a look. Okay, so now I'm going to show you different materials in drawing different styles. So as you know that we have 3 styles for you to choose. One is romantic, the other one is satire, and the third one is whimsical. So I have some examples of the storybook that I can show you very roughly, but I also have put some links in the PowerPoint so that you can refer to some examples there to learn more about different styles. So for example, usually if you want to draw some dreamy or fairy romantic style, usually the material we will use, comparatively it will be soft, and then the lines and the color when you look at it, it is very fine and detailed. So when you search for your materials, and the nature of your materials is very important to forming that kind of mood. And I have one more example for you to look at. So this is the other storybook. Even though it is not using watercolor, it somehow used some oil pastel, something like that. If you can find it at home. You can also try to use oil pastel with some color pencils to do some effects. So you can see that by using those soft color and then by mixing different color together, then you can create quite a dreamy mood in your drawing. And don't forget, if you have pencil or color pencil at home, you can also outline the features of your objects or the subject matters of your storybook in order to create a more obvious contour lines to your features. So now I'm going to show you how we can use the materials that we have used before. Remember, you have bought this watercolor markers, right? So we can also use it in drawing some dreamy style. So just to recap some of the memories, so the colors that I choose is pastel color because I would like to give a very dreamy effect to my doggy here. So what you have to do is you need your brush and then get some water. So I believe that some of you have used this skills before. Instead of drawing directly on the paper, we will tip some of the color from the brush. And then you can mix the color with it. And then besides purple, I would like to add some pink as well. So this method comparatively, it is softer than that skill that we directly draw on the paper. So you can see that after adding water and then mix with the previous colors that I draw, that it can merge softly in your drawing. So try to find the family colors or those colors that you found that it can create a romantic effect. Then you can use this skill. So for my examples here, you can see that in here. So I have mixed different color by using this watercolor marker. Then it can softly build up a very dreamy mood into my doggy. So the second method I'm going to show you is whimsical style. So whimsical style, comparatively, I would like to show you some storybook as well. For example, this Japanese illustrator who is very famous of using very childlike style, or what we call as very playful or whimsical style to create his own characters. Compare with the romantic style, you can see the lines and the brush here is this comparatively free style, and it won't be that fine. Some of the lines you will find that it is quite rough or raw in style, but the lines you can imagine when the artist draw it, he is very bold, he is very brave, and the lines that he draw, it is very clear and then thick. So I would suggest for those students, if you like this kind of style, then you can use acrylic. So I believe that some of you have your own acrylic at home. Then you can use acrylic to create this kind of style. So how you can do it? So for my doggy, so this time the brush that I use, I will compare with the watercolor. I won't add too much water into it. And then I will also mix color. So the main color that I use is yellowish brown and with some dark brown. So when you draw on the dog itself, this time I will be very bold. And then some of the time I even leave some area dry because I want to create a dry brush effect. On my work. So for drawing whimsical style, so I would suggest you to be brave to mix color, and then even though some of the lines that are not that fine, but it can be a highlight of your drawing. So for example, the leg, usually we will refine it very detailed, right? But if you found that the raw style, it just fits with your story, then you can just leave it alone. And some of the time, mixing color, you can do it on the paper directly. So you will see that for whimsical style, the brush stroke is more obvious, and I will even leave out some of the marks here to create a raw style, and the texture is rich. So I have one example here, and I found that in drawing, using acrylic to draw whimsical style, white is a very important color to use. Because if you want to highlight some of the area, then white can help you to bring out that part easily. So you can try out this method in drawing your own storyline, but think about what style you want to create. But if you don't have watercolor, or even though you don't have acrylic, you can still use some very simple materials to draw. I believe all of you should have pencil at home, right? So pencil can also draw a very dreamy or a very romantic style if you draw it in a very fine and detailed enough. So you can see all the lines and the shading, if they are fine enough, you can create a very detailed effect. Also, don't forget your liner or the calligraphy pen. If you also have those pens at home, you can also use it. So there's some illustration, some storybook also just use pencil only to draw it. So you can see the lines created by the illustrator, they are very detailed and precise. And don't forget, if you just have pencil or liner at home, you can add a little bit, if you have color pencil, you can create some contrast effect. If you want to highlight or bring out the main character of your story, you can put into color only for that subject, and for the rest of it, you can keep it monotone. Then it can create a more lively effect to your drawing. And I hope that based on the materials that you find at home, that you can try to find out your own style, and then after you draw it out, you can do some testing first and send me through WhatsApp to ask me for more advice. So the next video I'm going to show you will be the book binding. Don't miss it.